Greetings, 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 greetings. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me make sure that I have some audio on here. Give me a second. Alrighty, let me just check my status here on Facebook, make sure I'm good. All right, Facebook is good. Let me check on YouTube, make sure YouTube is good. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, YouTube is good. All right, so check this out. First thing I want to do is I want to acknowledge the great spirit, universal intelligence, universal I am. I want to acknowledge my ancestors, want to thank them for always guiding and protecting me. And I know that any weapons formed against me will not prosper. All right, so guys, I have some great information for you guys. Literally, I took an entire week, 7 days to put this together for you guys because it's more than just putting documents together. Okay, this has to be spiritual as well. So I put that together for you guys. A lot of people have been asking me, well, hey Chief, what if I don't want to take the jab? Then what can I do? Is there something I could use? So I put this together for you guys because I know a lot of people don't know how to. And my purpose is to be of service to my fellow men and fellow women. You feel me? So I put a notice together for you guys. I'm going to read it for you. Also, it's in PDF form. So that means you may have to do some adjustments in terms of what applies to you, but that's easy. That's the easy part. The difficult part is putting it together. So I did that for y'all. Now, remember I told you guys I was putting an organization together, for us, original indigenous Americans. So I bought the domain name. I paid for the hosting for 2 years, and I'm building the website myself. So I had to put the PDF that I created somewhere so that you guys should be able to download that. So I put it on the website. Okay, it's not part of what we are doing, but it is just a place where you could download it for now. Now I do have. Well, you know what? Let me go ahead and share. So this is the site that I've been creating. Okay, I'm working on this site right now for us, original indigenous Americans, because they have something for NAACP, for people who call themselves Black and African American. There's something for you also have the National Action Network, which is an organization that Al Sharpton has, and they are working on behalf of so-called Black people and African American. We know that those things don't exist, but there's nothing for us, the original indigenous Americans. There's no, in my opinion, there's no organization of integrity that's there to stand for our rights. So I'm putting that together. I'm creating that. And that's why I told you guys, just walk with me. All right. I know the how. I'm putting these things together. Okay. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. All right. Give me a second here. All right. And this is the website that I'm building for us. Okay. Like I said, I'm building this myself. I paid for the hosting. I paid for everything for 2 years. And the reason why I didn't ask anybody for any donations for this is because I know the mindset of so-called Negro people. Not everybody, but so-called people. I've been down that road before. You know what I'm saying? And people always think when they donate to what you're doing, even if it's for them, they think you owe them something. You feel me? But what I'm doing, I'm showing people that I'm serious about what I do. So I paid for this myself. I'm paying for the hosting myself. I'm doing the website myself, and I'm putting the organization together. When everything is done and ready to go, I'm going to reach out to individuals across the country, across the Americas, so that they could head certain divisions wherever they are at. Okay, so we could step up as who we are and stand up for our rights. All right, so this is the basic foundation of what it is. The website is, and like I said, it's right now. I'm still working on it. I'm kind of showing it to you prematurely, but I had to upload the PDF on something. So I just did it on the site. So the website is www.ipnan.org. Okay, and that's the acronym for Indigenous Peoples Native Autochthonous Network. Okay. And as you could see, I know native means just to be born, but I put autochthonous next to it. So it will pretty much solidify who we are as the original people of this land. Okay. So that's that. So this is the website. All right. Welcome to Indigenous Peoples Native Autochthonous Network. I have the emblem of America. All right. Welcome. I have a few different indigenous, greetings, Halito, Osio, Mabikwa, Matie, greetings, hi, namaste, okay? There may be more, but those are the ones that I know right now. Okay, welcome to IPNAN, is a body of original indigenous Americans, aka American Indians. We are united in protecting and securing our natural rights given to us by the Great Spirit. We stand together as one mind, one mind in many bodies in order to restore and honor our timeless ancestors of the Americas. Okay. And then I have a few etymology of words: indigenous. Okay. I have autochthonous, legal versus lawful, the color of law, native. And I have note, when we say we are indigenous, it means we are not only born, but we are also originated from the soil of our ancestral lands, the American continent. Okay. And if you click here on more, like find out more, you tap on that, that will take you to about us. Okay, I have the definition of American, Noah Webster's 28 dictionary. I have our story. For centuries, the true facts of our history has been misinterpreted internationally. Intentionally. We the original indigenous Americans, we always taught, we always taught, I have to correct that, we were always taught. Okay, I'll take care of that. But anyway, we always taught, oh, well, that's cool. We always taught that we came into the Americas on slave ships from Africa. However, over 95% of us were told differently from our elders. After years of dissecting his story, many of us original Americans found numerous holes and inconsistencies in his story. All right, I'm going to have an Instagram page. I'm going to have a Facebook page with reviews and everything that's coming soon. Like I said, I'm still working on that. Okay, so that's, you see the home, you see the about us. When you tap on more, you will see that I'm going to have treaties and laws here. Okay, American Indian sovereignty matters. Okay, and when I speak of our sovereignty, I'm not speaking of our sovereignty from a sovereign citizen perspective. I'm not a sovereign citizen. However, I am sovereign to this land because this is the land that I originated from. Okay, so American Indian sovereignty matters. Okay, and as the original indigenous peoples of the Americas, we had our own governing bodies. We also knew that the Great Spirit entrusted us with this sacred land and made us the natural custodians. Many treaties, if not all our ancestors made with the colonizers, were broken by the colonizers. Therefore, as their posterity, and posterity means their children, us, as their posterity of our ancestors, we are still here, and we reserve our Great Spirit given rights to govern our sacred land again and ourselves. As the original peoples of the Americas, our rights are not limited to any treaties. Our rights are not limited to any treaties, constitution, codes, rules, etc. that was created by man. However, we wish to live in harmony with our fellow men, women that are guests in our home. And I have the House Resolution 331. It's a PDF that you could download that speaks that it's a treaty and it's a resolution that the United States government has a right to deal with us from a government to government basis. I'm also going to put the UN, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. I'm also going to put the Human Rights Declaration on there as well. And I'm going to put certain treaties on there that were signed with our ancestors. And we have to make sure those treaties come back into play so that the US government could honor those treaties. All right. When you click on more, we have spiritual and religion. All right. That's, of course, I'm editing that. So more information is to coming soon. I'm going to break down, spirituality versus religion, pretty much to what what our overall concept of religion was. That's going to be in that section. Okay. Also, I have a library. A library is coming soon, where I'm going to have a lot of books, history books on the Americas, history books on a lot of stuff is going to be in there. All right. And I have nutrition, and in that section, I have nutrition and health or wealth. Now, this is going to talk about, I'm going to be talking about just eating healthy, so that's going to be in that section. However, today's purpose of this video is to share with you the assumption of liability agreement that I created, because a lot of people are being forced to take the jab on their job, or whether it's in their schools. So I put, like I said, it took me 7 days to put that together for y'all. It's a gift from me to you. Okay. And that's what I do. I'm of service to the people. All right. Now, I do have a disclaimer. Okay. I am not an attorney, and I'm going to use certain words when I'm reading the notice that I created, just in case, YouTube or Facebook want to say I'm violating their terms and conditions, because you know how they do. So I'm just going to probably spell out the word and not say the word. Okay. So I am not an attorney. I do not practice law. This isn't legal advice. This is not legal service. I'm not providing any legal services. However, I created this document as a gift to humanity for people who don't know the how to, and feel the need to stand for their rights. Please do not use my intellectual property for profit. It took me almost a week to put this together. And so for those of you who would like to show your appreciation with a free will donation. Now, as you know, you guys, I don't ask people for donations when I teach. However, I put this document together. It took me some time. And if you feel like, you appreciate it and you want to support, it's not mandatory. You don't have to. But to show your appreciation, because I'm taking time out of everything to do all of this. All right. So you could do so with my Cash App, which is $Kalinago, and or Bitcoin. My Bitcoin wallet address is here. Now, you don't have to put a memo. You don't have to put a message. But if you so choose to put one, a simple thank you would suffice. Okay. So once again, this is not a document that I'm selling. No, I'm giving it to you as a gift. But if you want to show your appreciation, then by all means, I'll leave it up to your discretion to show what you think this is worth to you, how much value you put on your freedom and your life and your safety. Okay, so here we go. All right, now this is the document. It's a PDF that you could download. Okay, now I could only download PDFs on this site. However, you would have to convert it into a doc, meaning that an editable document, okay, on your computer, so you are able to go ahead and make the necessary adjustments. So this is the notice. As you can see, it's a downloadable document, and I'm going to read it to you. Like I said, I'm going to leave out some words, all right, so that it will not come up as a red flag on YouTube or Facebook, because you know how these people do. All right, so here we go. Notice, conditional acceptance. Like I told y'all before, everything is contractual. Okay, everything is a contract. Everything is contractual, meaning that they cannot force you to do anything. However, it may come off as you don't have a choice, but that's not true. You always have a choice. Nobody could force you to do anything against your free will. We don't live in. This is not the days where people could force you to do things. They have to give you a way out. There is always a way out, but you just don't know sometimes. Okay, so this is a conditional, and the reason why it's conditional, because you have to accept it. Because if you don't accept it, then they're saying that you are being defiant. Remember, it's a contract. So for you not to come off as being defiant, you accept it with conditions. So therefore, they cannot say you didn't accept it and fire you, or say that your children cannot go to these schools. Okay, so just so you know. Notice, conditional acceptance. Notice to principal is notice to agent. Notice to agent is notice to principal. So once you put one of the agents on notice or the principal on notice, vice versa, it's their duty to make sure that the principal or the agents, they make sure that they got the notice. It is not your duty or your responsibility to send it to everybody. One notice will suffice. Okay? So the notice reads, to whom it may concern, I am man/woman. So if you are a man, you when you edit that, you just put man. If you're a woman, you just put woman. Okay? Don't leave it the exact way it is. Like a lot of people want everything done for them. That's the most I could have done for you. Okay? So if you're a man, that means you take off woman. If you're a woman, you take off man, and you don't put it in red. Make sure you put it back in black. Okay, I'm just highlighted that in red to show that that area has to be edited. Now, to whom it may concern, I, man or woman, John or Jane of Doe. Okay, remember, we don't have last names. Family come first. So why do you have a last name? You came from the family of. Okay, so you are the family of. So let's just say again, your so-called first name is John and your so-called last name is Doe. Then you put John of Doe. That's how they spoke back in those days. That's the family that you come from. It indicates that you came from a family and you did not come, or you did not, or you are not a product of a legal entity, which is a legal person. Okay, that's very important. So to whom it may concern, I am man or woman, John of Doe or Jane of Doe. So you're going to put your name, what's so-called your first name, and your so-called last name or surname would go there. Of course, you put that in black. Okay. The purpose of this notice is to give you your office and principal's constructive legal notice that I hereby conditionally accept your offer, as in your offer that I, man, or if you're a woman, need to be, that word, VACCINATED, as long as you provide the following information in accordance with statutory legal requirements. Okay? Now, this is the conditions right here. 1, please provide the approved legal status of any VACCINE and that it's not experimental. You know they cannot provide that because it is every VIC, okay? Each and every one of them are experimental, okay? So please provide the approved legal status of any VACCIN and that it's not experimental. Number 2, please provide details and assurances that the VACCINE has been fully and independently and rigorously tested against control groups and the subsequent outcomes of those tests. When they do provide that for you, you'll realize that when it was tested on rats or whatever, they died. Okay? So make sure that information is provided. Number 3, please provide a full list of the contents of the VACCINE I am to receive. And if any are toxic to the body, you already know it's toxic to the body because when you get the list of ingredients and you do your research of the side effects, you will see that all of that, okay, it will be harmful to your body. Okay? Number 4, please provide evidence of all the adverse reactions associated with this VACCINE since the introduction. Number 5, please confirm that the VACCINE that you et al. Means for and others are advocating is not an experimental mRNA gene altering therapy. They cannot prove that because anything that has mRNA in there, it alters your DNA. Okay. Number 6, please confirm that I will not be under any duress from yourselves as my employers in compliance with the Nuremberg Code. And then I put C attachment. I created an attachment, all right, with the Nuremberg Code. And I'm going to explain to you guys what that is. Okay. Number 7, please advise me of the likely risk of fatality should I be unfortunate to contract COVID and the likelihood of recovery. What they're not telling you is natural immunity is best. Why? because all you have to do is quarantine yourself for 14 days, build your immune system, and you'll be okay. There's over 97% rate of natural immunity. Okay, 97% rate. So why are they forcing you to take this jab? Okay, do your own research, please. It continues. Once I have received the aforementioned in full, meaning that everything that was mentioned before, and I am satisfied that there isn't any threat to my person and or health, I would be more than happy to accept your offer to receive the treatment, but with certain conditions, namely that, and those are your conditions. Number one, you confirm that I will not suffer no harm. They cannot guarantee you that, because it's going to bring you harm. All right. So you're putting the burden of responsibility on and liability on them. Number two, following the acceptance of this, the offer must be signed by a fully qualified doctor who will take full legal and financial responsibility for any injuries occurring to myself and or from any interactions by authorized personnel regarding these procedures. Guess what? No doctor in his right mind would sign any document, because he know that he will open up himself or herself to lawsuits, because they already know it's going to bring you harm. Okay, but again, you are putting the burden of liability on them. Number three, in the event that I should have to decline the offer of the VACCC, whatever, please confirm that it will not compromise my position and that I will not suffer prejudice and discrimination as a result. I will also advise that my inalienable rights are reserved without prejudice. Okay, so with that, I have covered all the bases. So no matter how they turn or they twist, that's going to cover you, all right, from every single perspective that they may come with. All right. Now, thank you for your attention to this matter and your full compliance to the terms of this notice. And you see, respectfully, you're going to sign right here. And then the next signature will be the employer, the business authorized representatives, whether it's the doctor or whoever it is, but make sure they sign that. And then, of course, it's done through a notary, so it makes it a legal document. Okay, the state of, the county of, sign and sworn, the date, and the notary is going to sign that the person or persons who appeared before them are who they say they are. Okay, so that is the document that I created for you guys. All right. Now, also, remember I spoke of an attachment. What you're going to do is, normally when you do legal documents, you don't just write attachment on the piece of paper. What you do is you get a blank piece of paper. This is a separate PDF, okay? And you download that, and it's going to say attachment. So your notice is going to go on top. That blank sheet with attachment written on it will be next, and then the attachment would be the Nuremberg Code. Let us read what the Nuremberg Code is. All right. British Medical Journal, number 7070, volume 313, page 1448, 7 December 1996. Introduction. The judgment by the War Crimes Tribunal at Nuremberg laid down 10 standards to which physicians must conform. They have to conform, okay? Not if they have a choice or if they so choose. No, they have to conform when carrying out experiments on human subjects in a new code that is now accepted worldwide. The judgment established a new standard of ethical medical behavior for the post-World War II human rights era. Amongst other requirements, this document enunciates the requirements of voluntary informed consent of human subjects. Like I said, everything is voluntary, but you have to give your consent. All right, they cannot force you to do anything without your consent. The principle of the voluntary informed consent protects the rights of the individual to control his or her own body. All right. This code also recognizes that the risk must be weighed against the expected benefit and that unnecessary pain and suffering must be avoided. This code recognizes that the doctors should avoid actions that injure human patients. The principles established by this code for medical practice now have been extended into general codes of medical ethics. The Nuremberg Code of 1947, permissible medical experiments. The great weight of the evidence before us to each that certain types of medical experiments on human beings, when kept within reasonable, well-defined bounds, conform to the ethics of the medical profession generally. The protagonist of the practice of human experimentation justified their views on the basis that such experiments yield results for the good of society that are unprocurable by other methods or means of study. The truth of the matter is, natural herbs, as indigenous people, we should subscribe more to natural herbs. But they are saying that, you see, that's something that they don't acknowledge. Why? Because they cannot monopolize natural herbs. They have to alter it in order to put a patent on it and then sell it to you. But natural herbs, okay, they cannot put patents on that. They have to alter that. All right. All agree, however, that certain basic principles must be observed in order to satisfy moral, ethical, and legal concepts. Number one, the voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. All right. They cannot force you to do anything against your own free will. You have to give a voluntary consent. And if you do not consent, they cannot force you. That's why this notice of assumption or liability assumption is so, it's so crucial. Okay. This means that the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, should be so situated as to be able to exercise free power of choice without the intervention of any element of force, fraud, deceit, duress, overreaching. By them telling you, if you don't do this, you're going to lose your job, that is under duress. This is by force. It is not by choice. And that's the basis of a lawsuit. So that's number one. I'm not going to read the entire thing. I have that there for you guys. Okay. Then you have, everything is here. Okay. I got it right here for you guys. All right. Number two, the experiment should be such as to yield fruitful results for the good of society, unprocurable by other methods or means of study, and not random and unnecessary in nature. You hear that? All right. Number three, the experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and the knowledge of the natural history of the disease or other problems on the study that the anticipated results justify the performance of the experiment. Number four, the experiment should be so conducted as to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. Number five, no experiment should be conducted where there is a priori reason to believe that death or disabling injury will occur, except perhaps in some experiments where the experimental physician also serves as subjects. All right. Number six, the degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. Number seven, proper preparation should be made and adequate facilities provided to protect the experimental subject against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, or death. Number eight, the experiment should be conducted only by scientifically qualified persons. The highest degree of skill and care should be required through all stages of the experiment of those who conduct or engage in the experiment. Number nine, during the course of the experiment, the human subject should be at liberty to bring the experiment to an end if he has reached the physical or mental state where continuation of the experiment seems to him to be impossible. Number 10, during the course of the experiment, the scientist in charge must be prepared to terminate the experiment at any stage if he has probable cause to believe in the exercise of the good faith, superior skill, and careful judgment required of him, that a continuation of the experiment is likely to result in injury, disability, or death to the experimental subject. For more information, you could click on that link. All right. So guys, this is the information. So you have the assumption of liability agreement, the notice, then you're going to put the attachment, then you're going to put the Nuremberg Code. For those of us who are also indigenous to this land, if you want to add some documents as another attachment, such as the Tuskegee experiments, you could do that as well. All right. But I just felt it, imperative, and necessary to create that for you guys, because a lot of people been inboxing me, Chief, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. Once again, this is not legal advice. I'm just doing that from my heart. Okay. It's a service to the people. But once again, feel free to show your appreciation. It's always good to, I believe in the laws of reciprocity. Okay. When people do good unto you, you show your love back. All right. As you could see, I don't do and share information. I don't ask for donations. I don't ask for nothing. All right. But right here, this document, like I said, is on the site. Okay. I put that on the site. Okay. The site is a website that I'm creating for us as the original indigenous people. All right. This is the site right here. Okay. I will take the link and put that there for you guys. There's a whole lot more to come on the site. I'm just putting the documents together for the site. Okay, this is the website. Okay, right here. It's www.ipnan.org. Okay. Also, this is my Rumble channel. You guys can go on here and subscribe. I will make an attempt to put that on Rumble as well, just in case YouTube and Facebook want to get a little finicky and say I'm violating their whatever they do, because they don't like people standing up for their rights and speaking the truth. Okay, so the website is again www.ipnan.org. Okay, which is Indigenous Peoples Native Autochthonous Network. And once again, this is something that I'm putting together for us so we could stand in unity under one umbrella. You see how they have the Nation of Islam, all those different things, all those groups. You have the Moors got their own, which is the Science Temple. We don't have anything for ourselves as the original people of this land that I think that stands on the principles of transparency, integrity, and trust. So I'm creating that for us. Okay. I'm the one funding everything. I'm not asking nobody for a dime, because I know how some Negroes get. A lot of Negroes claim to be indigenous, but they are very spiteful. And a lot of times it's your own people that try to take you down. Okay. So I don't want nobody doing anything for me. However, the documents that I created for you, that's my intellectual property. It took me 7 days to put that together. So for those of you, again, who want to show your appreciation, by all means, please do so. And, support through, through Cash App or Bitcoin. Okay. And that information is on here. Let me share the website one more time before I get out of here, so you could actually see it. Okay. And the website is going to be down packed. I'm sure it's going to be loaded with information. Okay. It's going to be loaded with information, researchable information. All right. I'm also, for people who are going to be members of the organization, they're going to have an official membership card. I'm talking about official. All that stuff is coming. All right. So keep that in mind. So it's www.ipnan.org. This is something that's created for us, by us. Okay. So there you go. All right, guys. So once again, I just wanted to come on here and share this with you. I'm not going to prolong this video. I've been on here for 30 something minutes. I hope you guys appreciate this. And the document is a PDF. So you're going to have to put it into, convert it into a doc. So you're able to, in fact, you know what? Let me just share this one more time, because I know a lot of times people are going to be hitting me, hey, Chief, how do I do this and how do I do that? I'm trying to avoid that. That's why I put it on there instead of saying, hey, hit me up, with an email and I'll send it to you. No, I don't want to do all that. That's too time consuming. All right. So let me go here real quick and go into right here. Okay. And show you real quick. So like I said, the document is a PDF. Everything that's in red, okay, you have to go ahead and change that. Okay. Change it. So that means you have to edit that section, put it back in black. If you're a man, leave that you're a man, but leave it in black. If you're a woman, leave that you're a woman, but leave it in black. Also, don't leave John Doe, because your name is not John Doe, or your name is not Jane Doe. If you're a woman, put your so-called first name and then of, meaning that you of that family. Just like how you have the allegorical Jesus of Nazareth, you are, let's say it's Tim Brown. You are Tim of Brown, meaning that you come from the family of Brown. So now you are stating that you are a man or a woman, a natural man or woman that came from a family and not the legal name. All right. So those are some of the skills that you guys need to know. All right. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Okay. And of course, you're going to sign right here. Make sure that the employer, okay, sign, and or the authorized representative, whether it's that medical person on their job, whoever the case may be, or a doctor, and make sure that a notary signs that, and that's it. Hold them liable. Okay. That's that. Beautiful. So you guys enjoy your continuation. This video will be up for your purposes, or for your benefit, rather, not your purposes, for your benefit. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we will talk soon. All right. One love.